Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Virtual College Exploration for all North and South Carolina students, sponsored by the Carolinas Association of Collegiate Registrars and Admissions Officers and StriveScan. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are turned off, so panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of the many sessions happening, so be sure to check out the full schedule at CACRAO.org. That is CACRAO.org. And this presentation will be recorded and will be available within about a week at that same website at CACRAO.org. That is CACRAO.org. At this time, I would like to turn it over to our presenters. The floor is all yours.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so that we can get this panel started, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. We really are glad you're here to see our presentation. My name is Julie Sappington, and I'm one of the panelists today. Thank you for joining our Small School Big City Advantage panel. Today we have Queen's University of Charlotte, we have Shaw University, we have the American University of Paris, Johnson C. Smith University, and William Peace University. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. We're first going to start just by giving a little bit of an overview of what it means to go to a school, a small school within a big city. So it's really, you hear this a lot in college admissions, it's the best of both worlds, but it really is kind of that, because when you attend a small university, you are going to be attending a school that's going to automatically have small class sizes. So you're not going to be sitting in lecture halls with 300 students or more. You're going to have that one-on-one attention and connection with your professors. And so I know that the professors at universities that are, at smaller schools, they tend to be teachers and mentors first. And so you get to know them, that they are there to help write your letters of recommendation further down the road whenever you're applying to graduate school and beyond. But they're also there to guide you with, your career path and maybe make recommendations for where that should go. Additionally, a large city can be somewhat overwhelming for some people. There's just a city full of people to get to know, and this gives you automatically that tight-knit community within the larger context of a city. So this automatically, you have your people, if you will, just by attending a small school, and then you're having all of the opportunities of a big city, whether that's jobs, internships, or just the fun that comes with living in a city in terms of entertainment value and things to do generally. Okay, so I'm going to move on to our next slide and our next panelist. Thank you so much for joining us again.
All right, so when you're looking at different colleges, especially as transfer students where you're a little further along in your education, one of the biggest things that you're usually thinking about are what are your career plans and what's your path going to be once you complete your bachelor's degree and moving on. And obviously, we're all looking at making an investment in college with the idea that we're going to get that return on investment in the future when we secure higher level, higher paying jobs with the degree that we're trying to earn. So one of the biggest advantages to going to a school that's in a larger city is that you have access to all of the resources that a larger city is going to offer you. And a couple of key things that is part of that is that they're going to have larger job markets. There's simply going to be more companies and corporations that are going to be headquartered in these areas or, have business space in these areas. You're just going to have more options. And generally, you're also going to have larger companies and corporations, more reputable, more well-known ones to pull from than you're going to find in a smaller city. Also, recruiters are going to generally be more actively searching in larger cities. And that's not just recruiters within the city itself, but it's also recruiters that are going to be coming directly to your campus that are specifically looking for new grads who have training programs, management training programs, other things that you can really take advantage of that, again, you're not going to have access to because they're not going to be traveling out to more rural areas or smaller towns and things like that as well. They're going to be coming right essentially to your campus, or they're going to essentially be in your backyard, even if you have to go to them. Larger cities also tend to have generally just lower unemployment rates. Even during the pandemic right now, we've seen that this is a trend because there are simply, again, more job opportunities available in these areas and more options for you. These smaller colleges are also really well embedded generally within these communities. We have tight connections and ties to a lot of the businesses in the area, and that's something that you can really take advantage of. When you're working with your career office that's on your campus, at any of the schools that are here, any school in these larger cities, you're really going to be able to take advantage of those connections. They've been doing this a lot longer than you have. So you got to remember, over time, they've been able to really build up a, sort of virtual Rolodex of companies, corporations, employers that they can pull from to really help you make those connections. But at the same time, because you're going to a smaller institution, those same career centers and offices that you're working with, whether it's, for job placement or for internship placement as well, they're going to be able to give you the time of more personalized and guided, more one-on-one interactions, whether that's working on your resume, whether that's doing more mock interviews, cover letter writing help, just spending more time getting to know you and what's going to be a good fit for you in an internship or career based on your goals and what you'd like to do long term. They're going to be able to give you that highly personalized one-on-one attention and that mentorship and advice because you're at a smaller institution where they have the ability to do that while still having all of the resources that a larger city is going to offer you. These schools also, because their alumni tend to stay in the city. If you go to a school that's further away, a lot of students are graduating and then moving away to larger cities for work. But because the schools are located right in these bigger cities, they're also generally going to have a great alumni network right there in your backyard and in that area. So if you want to connect, whether it's for, a job connection or whether it's for mentorship or just kind of guidance and advice, there's going to be a lot of alumni that you can then pull from and talk to about what they're doing. Someone who maybe graduated in your same field and your same major, connect with them and be able to see what their job search was like, what connections they have, and they can also assist with that as well. And with that, we will move on to our next slide.
So I think there may have been one before that one. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Awesome. So thanks so much, Julie, for clicking that over. My name is Jasmine. I work as a Senior Assistant Director of Admissions at Queen's University of Charlotte. And I have the pleasure of talking a little bit about our study abroad opportunities as smaller institutions panel within the bigger city context. So similarly to internships, I think study abroad and international travel opportunities are things that may be available at colleges and universities, but are simply enhanced by being at a smaller institution within a big city context. So you have opportunities similar again to those. You have the opportunity to sit down and connect with an international advisor on what it is that you're really interested in. Ireland. When I was a student, I had always wanted to go to Ireland for whatever reason that may have been. And so I was able to see when I was a student there and say, this is what I'm really looking to do. What kind of experiences might there be for me versus having that bigger context where I'm not able to have those more personalized conversations and opportunities. So a lot of your smaller institutions will have a number of programs to offer. And down at the bottom of your screen, you can see just some of the many benefits that you will have as a student from studying abroad. So it kind of goes without saying, you get a global perspective. You get to hear another country's perspective on the world. You get to broaden your horizons a little bit and learn about another culture. We also know that students who have international experience during their college years are over 60% more likely to gain employment once they graduate. You're more marketable as a student, as an employer, and whatever that next step might be, if you do have those international experiences on your resume. So it's just another resume booster to add to your portfolio of experiences in a college setting. And being located in a bigger city, like Charlotte or Raleigh or some of the others represented here, you have access in more direct ways than you might if you were in a more rural area, a more rural part of the country. So international airports certainly abound in big cities. So you have the opportunities to travel to a number of different places. In Paris, obviously, we think, that just seems like such an obvious city that would have a lot of connections within Europe and outside of Europe. Raleigh and Charlotte have huge airports where you can get anywhere. So you have opportunities that, again, are unique to you based upon the location that you're in. On the top of the screen there, you see a couple of bullet points about different types of programs that you might take advantage of in college. At Queens, we have a pretty robust study abroad experience. We actually cover the cost of an international experience of international travel without having to stress about the financial burden of that. So some programs, when you think about study abroad, a lot of studying at another country, in another country, at another college or university for a full semester or a full year. So year-long abroad or something like that. Opportunities are usually available for you. But outside of that, there are often other types of programs. For example, you might want to travel on a language immersion experience for a few weeks over the summer, or maybe you want to complete an internship abroad over the summer for maybe 4 to 6 weeks and get not maybe that full semester, that full year, but a really immersive experience in another country. Or maybe you're a student like myself who, when I was in college, I wanted to get a little taste of another country, but I wasn't yet ready to commit to that full summer or full semester in another country. So I did a 2-week faculty-led program. So I took a class at Queen's studying Irish literature, and then I traveled to Ireland for 2 weeks after that semester with my classmates and my professors to dive deeper into what we had studied in the classroom. So there are a ton of different opportunities for you to take advantage of at colleges and universities when it comes to study abroad and international travel, which are certainly enhanced by being at a smaller institution within that larger city context. So I'm going to turn it over to my colleagues to talk a little bit about the HBCU experience.
All right, what's going on, everybody? I appreciate you all for hanging out on the presentation today. So I'm Daniel Watson. I'm one of the admissions counselors here at Johnson C. Smith, representing one of 2 HBCUs on the call.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ashley Connor. I am the Associate Director of Admissions and Recruitment at Shaw University.
All right, so we do have some bullet points up there, so you all, are bright individuals, so you can read that. We're pretty much just going to speak to our experience and working here at these HBCUs. The HBCUs do make up 3% of all colleges and universities within the U.S., but they do actually, what was my little fact that I did want to speak about? But they actually do, they enroll 10% of all African Americans within the country. Okay, so here at JCSU, we actually are the #1 private HBCU in North Carolina. So we're very, very proud of that, but also being located right here in Charlotte, you do have access to a great city actually at your fingertips. Okay, so even though you would just be at JCSU, only 1,500 students, you have access to our above ground light rail. So pretty much our students have access. You actually walk right outside your residence hall, show your student ID, hop on the light rail, and then take you wherever you want within the city. As well as Charlotte, just the actual city, is the 2nd largest financial district in the United States, only behind Wall Street. So it's pretty amazing. And it's also top 10 for African Americans are doing the best economically right now in the country.
So as Mr. Watson said, as 2 HBCUs represented on here, we are 2 of 12 HBCUs that are in the state of North Carolina. Shaw being the oldest HBCU within the state of North Carolina, being founded in 1865. Both are small private universities located in 2 of the largest cities within the state of North Carolina. And according to US News, Charlotte and North Carolina are in the top 25 places for young professionals to live and be able to, and are moving to, that we're seeing. So with that, we're seeing that a lot of it, as you'll see the map that's on the slide, a lot of HBCUs are located within the southern region of the US, but a lot of them are located in large cities. So Raleigh and Durham being 2 of those, where there's a lot of access. So you've heard about internships and things of that nature. They're right at your fingertips, being within the downtown or close to the downtown area of these large cities. You have access to some of the largest companies in the, in the world. And you'll see that the unemployment rates in these cities are very low. So the opportunity for you after graduation is unlimited at this point. You have the banking district in the Charlotte area, and then in the Raleigh area, you have the RTP, Research Triangle Park. So there's so many opportunities within these cities for you to be able to go and do internships throughout your 4 years, and then build a career and a family in these cities without feeling like you have to leave and go elsewhere, where you've spent these last 4 years of building these connections on and off campus. You can continue those throughout your life, or however long you decide to stay within these areas.
And also along the lines of making those connections, and also working with alumni. So we're very connected to individuals in our community here here specifically in Charlotte. So let's say even amongst the admissions team here at JCSU, you could say we have 10 to 12 individuals that work here. Half of them are actually alumni of the university. Some of our lead radio anchors in the city are actually alumni of the university as well. So even we might have, on every Thursday, you can catch us on our Instagram, IG page. So we'll have connecting with a former alum of the university, and we also have a PayPal or a Pen Pal program where students can stay connected. So those alumni are definitely sharing those experiences with you as a student. So coming in, so it's pretty much paying it forward back to your great university. Anything else you want to add, Ashley? Or are we all good?
No, I think we're good.
All right, so yeah, we're gonna go ahead and hit next.
Okay, so for this portion of the panel, we're going to talk about our individual institutions a little bit and what that means to attend each one of those. So I'm going to start with the American University of Paris. It is exactly what it sounds like with the name. We are an American liberal arts university, just like you find here in the United States, but located in the heart of the city of Paris. So we are a small school, as we all are here, at just around 1,100 students, but our students are from 100 different nations around the world. So what that means is no matter what class you're in, you're getting so many different valuable perspectives from all over the world. So in a class of maybe 20 students, you might have 10 different nationalities, piping in with their experiences. It is a liberal arts curriculum focused more on the humanities and social sciences with our degrees. It's an American bachelor's degree that you earn. So international business, global communications, those are our two largest majors, followed by psychology and international comparative politics. English is our medium of instruction, so you don't have to come with any specific level of French to attend AUP. So you can come with bonjour, and that's it, and that's okay. Our students who do not speak French already do take some French language courses as a part of the curriculum, which obviously helps living in a French city, and it also helps with getting those internships down the line if you have a little bit more French experience there. We are very transfer friendly. So what that means is you can apply for transfer and we will take up to 64 credits. That makes about 2 years left of your work. Anything that you've earned a C or higher will go towards that degree. Again, we talked about the small class sizes earlier. We are in the very heart of the city. It is an urban campus. So it is that big city feel that we're talking about. We're in the 7th arrondissement, which is just neighborhood in French. And what that means is we are right there. There's the Eiffel Tower right there next to it. With our urban campus, we have 7 buildings in the neighborhood. We're very well connected to the rest of the city as well by metro, bus, walking, scooter, biking, anything you choose there. So that's me. I am an associate director of admissions. My name's Julie Sappington. Feel free to reach out to jsappington@aup.edu for questions. You can go to our website, aup.edu, to learn more about our degree programs and admissions requirements. And we're in the Common App if you're applying via transfer to other schools via the Common App. Also, one more thing, I really hope that you go and see our admissions Instagram. It's at AUP Admissions. It's a great way of getting a sense of what it's like to be a student at AUP. We do have student takeovers pretty commonly, and you can do Ask Me Anythings. And so we have transfer students sometimes that will host those as well. All right, thank you so much. I'm going to advance it to our next presenter.
All right, Daniel Watson back again, undergraduate admissions counselor here at Johnson C. Smith University. So like I said, we are located in Charlotte, North Carolina. So also being in a large city also makes for a very fun time. So we actually are 5 minutes down the road from the Carolina Panthers, as well as 5 minutes down the road from the Charlotte Hornets. And also in 2021, we will be getting a new MLS soccer professional sports team as well. So yeah, we are a 4-year private liberal arts university. We're just underneath 1,500 students. And of course, with the large city, but still definitely having that small feel, family feel on campus. So 13-to-1, a student to faculty ratio. Okay, so we're gonna know your name, we're gonna know your face, and if you're not in class, we're gonna know if you're there or not. Okay. Now, of course, I don't have a GPS tracker on you or anything like that, but that just gives you a sense of how close knit we are here at JCSU. I'll give you a small example. So our president, everybody's invested in you as a student. So our president, Dr. Clarence Armbruster, is the 14th president of JCSU, all the way over to Miss Mary. So Miss Mary, she's like my third grandmother, and she works in facilities management. So pre-COVID, when we were still on campus, we would have lunch together every single day, and she would tell me about all of her different soap operas that she had watched the night before. So it's definitely a family style here at JCSU. Costs are looking at $26,000 per academic school year. That includes tuition, room and board, and meal plan. And so it is one price for all. So whether if you might not be located in North Carolina, also whether you're in Charlotte, North Carolina, or Sacramento, California, you'll be paying the same price. There is no application fee, and we also operate on rolling admissions. Okay, so you can always apply, and of course, we are transfer friendly as well. It's pretty cut and dry. All you need is a 2.0 on the GPA, and then you must have at least 12 credit hours. And of course, we'll need your transcript from any of your previous institutions. Every single first-year student, so not just for the freshmen, every single first-year student will actually receive a free iPad mini as well as a free passport. Okay, so I know we talked about studying abroad earlier, so you can actually do that here at JCSU. So of course, once we get through the COVID season, we'll be back to studying abroad. And then just if you were a freshman on the call, we are test optional right now. But yeah, that's pretty much us in a nutshell. So we pretty much can work with whatever you have as far as admission requirements, and we are family oriented. So definitely there goes my information right there. If you want to send me an email or give me a ring, we can definitely make it happen. So yeah, hold high the gold and blue. So yeah, appreciate y'all.
Hi, so my name is Ashley Murray. I'm the Assistant Director of Admissions for William Peace University. I also am the transfer counselor within our office, so you'd be working with me directly throughout the process. I was a transfer student myself. I have an associate's degree from a community college up here in the Boston area, where I'm from, and so I've been in the shoes of many of my students, and I really enjoy working with transfers in that way. We do have a beautiful campus. I highly encourage that you come and either take a tour. We do have live tours that are happening on campus with safety precautions in place if you'd like, or we have virtual tours that are live virtual tours. So you're still meeting with an admissions counselor and with one of our student ambassadors, so they can show you around, they can really tell you about their experience, and you can still kind of have that connection point with them. But as you get a little bit of a glimpse of from the picture, we have a very not really an urban style campus. We have a very traditional feeling campus with beautiful rolling greens and quad space, some athletic facilities on the campus, very kind of traditional feel with these beautiful Greek style brick buildings, but we are located right in downtown Raleigh. You can walk down to the city center, to concerts, restaurants, businesses, really easy to get around from here. So you have a very picturesque campus, that small, university feel. We do have about 800 students that are traditional undergraduate students, and a 13-to-1 faculty to a student to faculty ratio. So again, those small personalized classes where they're really getting to know you, but really right outside Raleigh, which has been ranked one of the top places to live in the country for like 10 years now on various lists. We have amazing resources, a lot of diversity and everything here in the city for you to access, and also really low cost of living, great employment. So that's really what has made that hit those lists for so many years. We have over 30 majors and minors here on campus, but some of our more unique ones are, we have a lot of business programs, but we're one of the only schools that have business analytics as a degree in and of itself. We also have education, which is scored in the top 25 in the East Coast. We have exercise and sports science, and then we also have simulation and game design, one of the only schools in the area that have that as well. Our cost is $31,900. That does include all of your books. 100% of our students do receive financial aid. So don't let the cost of any private institution put you off from necessarily wanting to come there, that sticker price, because that's not going to be your out-of-pocket price. We have a lot of scholarships and we're really dedicated to making your college affordable as we possibly can. So there's merit scholarships, there's transfer scholarships, PTK if you're a Phi Theta Kappa member, there's leadership and service scholarships, need-based grants and scholarships, lots of different opportunities to have that cost covered. And we are very transfer friendly. We accept up to 90 credits. You're considered a transfer student as long as you have 12 credits or more. You only have to have a C- or higher in your classes for those to transfer in. And that's something that I'm happy to give you sort of a preliminary idea about what potentially would transfer. So feel free to reach out to me. My contact information, as you can see, is listed. It's just ammurray@peace.edu. You can check out peace.edu/events if you want to take a look at some of the other events we have coming up on our campus, or if you wanted to go ahead and schedule one of those tours, either in person or virtually. We do have rolling admissions, so no hard deadlines. And right now we are doing a free application right now because it's free application week in the North Carolina area. But also if you miss that deadline, you know, of the end of the day today, by all means, just mention that you were present at one of our CACRAO presentations, and we will continue to honor that as well. With that, I will turn it over to our next panelist.
Okay, so it's me again. We're coming right down to the other side of downtown Raleigh. We are also located in the downtown Raleigh area. Our campus is a little bit more urban. We take on the city vibe on our campus. So we are a 4-year private liberal arts HBCU, one of 2 in the Raleigh area. Our current enrollment is a little over 1,300 with a student to faculty ratio of 17:1. Some of our popular majors are business, social work, education, and exercise science. And then our total cost of tuition, including room and board and meal plans, are going to be $24,994. We are transfer friendly as well. We have articulation agreements with all the community colleges within the state of North Carolina. So if you transfer to us with your associates of arts or associates of science, you'll come in, you'll only be required to take a gym and a computer class if you have not already done so. But if you have completed those, then you will just transfer in and finish your last 2 years in your major related courses that are required. We will accept up to 90 transfer credits with a C or better. Anything under a C will not transfer into the university. And then we also have partnerships with the other institutions within the Raleigh area. So William Peace, North Carolina State, St. Aug University, Meredith College, and Wake Tech. So our students have the opportunity to be able to take courses at those institutions at no additional cost, as long as they are in good standing with the university and enrolled in their full-time courses. I, again, am the associate director. We don't necessarily have a specific person in our office for transfer students. We are all able to work with you. Mr. William Bright is the person that typically does most of our transfers, but again, anyone within our office, so if you call our main line or email our main admissions web email, then anyone within our office will be able to assist you with the process of transfers. We do have rolling admissions as well, so you can apply at any time. We currently have our applications open for our spring 2021 semester, spring 2020 and our fall 2021 semester. We are a part of the free college application week that is now 2 weeks this year. So you can definitely feel free to apply online. We do have sessions that you can set up one-on-ones if you have some additional questions that you need answered that are specific to you as a transfer student, then we will definitely be willing to set those up. And you can also speak with our registrar's office to get more detail about the credits that will transfer in and what it would look like for you to transfer to the university. But you'll see my contact is in the bottom corner. So feel free to shoot me a text and or email with any questions that you may have.
All right, perfect. So again, my name is Jasmine. I work at Queen's University of Charlotte. We are obviously located in Charlotte, North Carolina. You can see one of my favorite pictures there on your screen. So all those brick buildings there, the clock tower on the side of campus there, that is our campus. We are located in the Myers Park neighborhood of Charlotte. It's one of the oldest neighborhoods in the city of Charlotte. It's, tree-lined streets, really residential area, a really beautiful place for our campus. And then we're about 2 miles from uptown Charlotte. So you can see the skyline in the background there. I actually think this picture makes it look a little further than it is. It's about 2 miles straight up 3rd Street right into uptown. So our students are getting obviously the benefits of a small school in a big city like all of our panelists on here, but getting that really residential, traditional collegiate type setting on campus. We are a private institution and we have degrees in a number of different areas. We have a strong liberal arts core. We offer programs in the arts and sciences, humanities, languages, as well as professional programs in business, communication, education, and healthcare, including nursing, pre-med, all of that good stuff. We have about 2,500 students on our campus with, as you can see on the screen there, a good number of our students being transfer students at Queen's. So we welcome transfer students from all over the world. We have counselors in our office that work with various transfer students, depending on where you're transferring from, that will dictate who your admissions counselor will be. We do have a free application. You can find us on the Common App, or you can just go to our website, top right-hand corner, and hit apply. A couple of unique things about Queen's that when you're kind of looking at different colleges and universities, I challenge students to think about what is that institution going to do to set you up for success in your next step. I think a lot of times students often are thinking about, well, what is my experience going to look like for my 2 or 3 or 4 years or however long it is at that institution. But I do challenge you to ask yourself, how is that institution going to set me up for success once I leave? Because you have a lot of life to live after that. At Queen's, we really believe in the value of experiential learning opportunities. I mentioned to you, you can see it here on the screen, that we provide an international opportunity for all of our students through an endowment. We also guarantee that all of our students will complete internships. So 100% of our students are completing internships at Queen's. So obviously the opportunities are right there at your fingertips being in the city of Charlotte, but you're not limited to the city of Charlotte. Our students go all over the world to complete those opportunities. So not only will you have a great in-classroom experience at Queen's, learning from professors who are experts in the experience to back it up. I do encourage you, if you're interested in learning more about Queen's, to come visit campus. We do have in-person campus visits available Monday through Saturday. We have options available for you. We also have really specific events, virtual events coming up for different majors. So if you know what you want to study and you want to sign up for one of those virtual events to hear from professors within that program, we certainly encourage you to do that. And if you need to speak with an admissions counselor, you can always reach out to our admissions office, just admissions@queens.edu, or you can reach out to me specifically. You see my contact info down there at the bottom of the screen, and we can get you in touch with a counselor. I am sure this is the truth of all of the schools here on the panel. Just because of our size, we really do value that personalized experience and getting to know our students really well. So we'd be happy to chat with you about your desires for a college experience and what you need from us at any time. So please do reach out at the email address down below. So I will turn it back over to Julie to flip us to our next slide, and we'll go from there.
Okay. Thank you everyone for joining us. So I think we still have a few minutes left in the presentation. So I'm just going to round robin ask each one of the panelists what your favorite thing is about your institution and how it interacts with the city it's in. So I'll go first with that. So at the American University of Paris, we very much so take advantage of where we're located as a part of the classroom. That's a big part of the experience. So, your classes will sometimes meet in any of the wonderful museums that are in Paris. So just in our general neighborhood, there's the Musée du Louvre, the Musée Rodin, the Musée d'Orsay. And so like if you're taking an art history class, you're going to go and see the pieces that you're studying in person. And then if you're taking any history classes, if you have any history credits that are left over, very much so, we're going to take advantage of that. You're going to have on-site visits. So we try to, as much as possible, take advantage of where we're at. Same thing with the, if you're in business courses or politics courses, we have study trips that go throughout Europe, and they go and visit different headquarters or different, different businesses that'll have us in, so that you can get real world tangible experience as a part of that. So that's my answer. I'm going to turn it over to you next. Shaw University, would you please respond with that same question? What is it that you find interesting about your university's relationship to the city it's in?
So one of our biggest things is what I explained earlier, our CRC program. So it affords the opportunity for students to be able to attend another university. You can attend NC State, which is probably 4 times the size of our university, and they are able to they have access to all of those resources on those campuses, although they're not necessarily a student. We've used that to our advantage of being in a city that has multiple colleges and universities. We would like to provide that experience to our student. So while we're a smaller institution, they have the opportunity to attend either other smaller institutions and or a very large institution, and kind of intermingle with students that they may not see on a daily basis.
Great. That's wonderful, Shaw. Ashley, sorry, from Shaw. I'm kind of jumping around here. So next, I'm just going to turn it over to you, Queen's University. I like to keep everybody on their toes a little bit. Jasmine, if you could take on that same question.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would encourage, just really briefly, if there are questions that students or folks who are on the session have, please feel free to use that chat box to ask some questions. We'd be happy to address those. But to the question of my favorite way that our institution interacts with our city, I think there are obvious things about professional experiences and internships and things like that. But what I really love is our commitment to service within the Charlotte community. Our motto at Queens is not to be served, but to serve. And so we take that really seriously, and we engage with the community in various ways. So we might have students who are studying in our music therapy program going over to the Levine Children's Hospital and engaging with those patients there and giving them a little fun during their day through music therapy. Maybe our education students are heading over to Myers Park Traditional Elementary School, which actually backs up to our campus. We share a couple of buildings actually, and maybe participating in a field day with them or doing a lunch buddy system. We really take seriously art in our community. So our art students are often out, doing murals here or participating in a concert there. And we really engage with our city in that way. So not only are students getting that professional experience and professional benefits of being in a vibrant city like Charlotte, but they're contributing to the community in that way.
Okay, wonderful. I'm going to turn it over to Ashley with William Peace University. Same question.
William Peace puts a huge emphasis on immersive learning and hands-on learning, really making sure that you're able to take the things that you're learning in the classroom, those theories that you're learning in the classroom, and really make sure that you're able to apply them to everyday life beyond college. That's essentially what you're here for. You're here with us for 4 years, but your life goes on for many years beyond that. So really preparing you in that way. So a lot of how we're involved within our community has a lot to do with those immersive learning projects, those hands-on experiences that we're doing. 100% of our students also do internships as part of their program. Those are embedded within the curriculum for each major. So you will get that hands-on professional experience before you're getting ready to apply for jobs. So whether that's, our chemistry students have done testing for carcinogens in Crabtree Creek. They've also done trips with our biology department to the rainforest in a number of different countries to do testing over there. There's a lot of projects that are done within the community. Our business students, for example, as part of your classes, the hands-on approach that they take is that you actually will work with a local mom and pop business and help them with strategies for marketing and kind of implementing new ways to get new customers to come in. And then we've got just, again, those great connections to businesses in the area. We have students that are doing internships at IBM or Red Storm Entertainment, which is a big gaming company, video gaming company in the area. Our education students are doing their internship hours at local schools that are close by. So it really does start to connect you directly to the city for those experiences, and also get you connected then for your life kind of beyond college and what that's going to look like moving forward.
Thank you, Ashley. Okay, last but very much so not least, Daniel with Johnson C. Smith University.
All right. Yeah. So I would definitely say internships probably the first thing that comes to mind. So we do have a connection with Red Ventures, which is a nonprofit organization right here in Charlotte. So they actually employ about 10,000 people over the entire country. So we actually have a Road to Hire program, our internship program with that organization. So we have a lot of students who actually walk into that role once they graduate. And also we do so have a foster care village program. So basically where we work with students who age out of our foster care systems or organizations right here in the city of Charlotte. So if students do meet our academic requirements, we actually take care of a large portion of their fees. So something that we're very proud of here at JCSU.
Okay, we still have a couple more minutes left just to, again, promote all of our email and contact details. You can please take those down. They're on the screen here. And just to fill the last couple of minutes, fun tradition that you have at your college. I'll start first. We have a Thanksgiving holiday coming up. Being in Paris, Thanksgiving is not a celebrated holiday just because that's an American and Canadian tradition. So it's a real fun intercultural exchange for all of us to have, students from all over the world partaking in this Thanksgiving that we have on campus. And it's a lot of fun because everyone's very curious as to what this is. So, okay, I'll turn it over to, I'm going to do it in order this time. Queen's University, what's fun tradition?
Yeah, I really enjoy, we have an event every year called Wings for Wishes. One of our sororities puts that on. They partner with Make-A-Wish Foundation to raise money for that organization. So they get local Charlotte area restaurants to donate chicken wings. And so they sell $5 tickets for students to go out to our quad, all you can eat chicken wings, bonfire pit, different events and prizes and things. And I certainly cannot turn down a good chicken wing, so I am always there at Wings for Wishes. So that is one of my favorite of the many traditions at Queen.
Okay, I'm going to show up for that one. Ashley at Shaw, could you please tell us a fun tradition?
So we have a few fun traditions. I know that most universities celebrate homecomings, but for HBCU, homecoming is like the annual week-long event. So this week is actually Shaw's homecoming. This morning we actually celebrated our 155th Founders Day convocation event for our students. So while it wasn't one thing that we do typically, if we weren't in the middle of a pandemic, we have a bell tower in the middle of our campus. So all of our freshman students, as a symbolization of them coming into the university, they typically would walk through and each student would ring the bell as a symbolization of them entering into the university. And then after their 4 years at graduation, they do the same type of ceremony and ring the bell, symbolizing them leaving out of the university. So unfortunately, we had to do it virtually today, where we just kind of rang the bell for all of our students that we had coming in our freshman class. But that's a really nice tradition that we do for our freshman students. And then again, with their graduation, once they have completed their 4 years.
Thanks, Ashley. Okay, and moving on to Ashley at William Peace.
So I think one of the favorite traditions that we do is actually very similar to the one that Ashley was just mentioning at Shaw. For our students, when you are starting as a student and you come on during convocation, you're given a rose and you sign the honor code. So every student gets that as the president speaks. And then again, 4 years later, when you're getting ready to graduate, you get another rose. And you'll see, if you look at anything from William Peace, there's a lot of photos right in front of the building that you see behind me, a large fountain. And the tradition is to throw your rose into the fountain before you leave at graduation and to take photos over there. So that's really great. And then we also leave a lot of our events with what we call our sweet goodbye. We are basically right next door to one of the oldest Krispy Kremes around. And so our sweet goodbye is that all the students do leave with a Krispy Kreme donut.
Thanks, Ashley. I'll be there for that one too. Okay, moving right along. And last again, but again, not least, Daniel, quick tradition from
I'm trying to make it really quick. Yeah, so the HBCU homecoming experience is nothing like anything you ever experience ever. But actually, so all students actually always come back to take a picture in front of Biddle Hall, because at one point that was our entire university. So now it's the heart and soul of campus. And also we have a thing called Brave Boy Madness, or Brave Boy Gymnasium. Pretty much where our men's and women's basketball play as well as volleyball. So pretty much students are going crazy there every single year doing our pet rally. So we have a really good time doing that.
Awesome. Thank you to all of our presenters today for sharing your information. That was a wonderful presentation. For today's closing remarks, thank you everyone for joining us. When you close this window, you will receive a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We'd appreciate your feedback and encourage you to submit it. Also, this was just one of the many sessions being hosted, so be sure to sign up for additional sessions at CACRAO.org, CACRAO.org. And if you're interested in learning more about these individual institutions, definitely look out for their institution information session as a part of our later programming. And in about a week, you'll be able to find this session's recording as well as all of the other session recordings at CACRAO.org. So that's CACRAO.org. Once again, thank you for joining us, everyone, and have a wonderful day.